Hello and Namaskar, I am Omvesh Upadhyay and you are watching us live at PME Vidya channel number 6 to 12 and you are watching us on our YouTube channel NCERT Official. Dear listeners and dear viewers, today we are in our online program, we are doing day 4 of animation as a digital resource for teaching and learning, and in that we will learn creating comic strip using Pixton. And before we begin our live session, I would like to tell you that if you have any doubts or questions, you can call us on our mobile number, which is 8800440559, or you can also email us at training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. So, as I told you that in our online training program, we are joined by Ms. Pratima Singh, who is assistant teacher at PM Shri Upper Primary School, Dusa, Balrampur, Uttar Pradesh. Welcome in the program, ma'am.
Thanks, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
So, ma'am, before we begin our online training program, I have a question to you, and I would request you to answer it. That what is Pixton and how our learners can create comic strip by using Pixton?
Sir, like in this series, we were having many informative and colorful tools. Just like that, we have Pixton, a comic making tool that can be used in teaching learning process. So basically, it is a platform where you can create comics using the various things that are provided there.
Yes, ma'am. So, why we can use Pixton in comics, especially in the creation of comic strips?
Sir, actually what happens, like the screen that we are seeing right now, it's written in black and white. So what happens when something is very colorful, very attractive, you have created it, you tend to remember it a lot. That's why it's very essential that we give some elements to students and they can use it using their imagination. And one such tool here that we are going to discuss today is Pixton. Pixton is basically a visual representation of knowledge we can give through the comics. Then it presents what is essential. While making a comic, one has to keep on thinking again and again what are the key graphic information that he or she wants to be transmitted. So he'll be focused on that particular point. Engaging is also there. You have to keep thinking, creating, and then writing is also there. We have a perfect avenue for writing the dialogues that are there. Moreover, some students that have who have low interest in writing, they also take active participation in something like comic making. It helps them to organize the storytelling capacity of the students or visual images that they can see, but they cannot communicate in words. For them also, comic making is a very powerful tool. As you can see in the next slide, we have different other benefits of comic making. It is creative and high order thinking. For basically, if you want to make a comic strip, you have to do a lot of work that is behind it. So what comes out is so colorful, so attractive to the students. That's why we want to incorporate in comic making in teaching learning. It is a process in which student does not know he is being evaluated and he gets evaluated. So it basically makes him free of the fear of being evaluated. So first of all, if we talk of a comic strip, we have to think of the central idea that is there. Then we have at least 3 frames. One, we have to think of what we want to convey. Then we have to write the script of the various characters that come in the frame. We have to think of the setting of the frame. We decide a story or central idea that we want to convey. It can be a topic that is taught by the teacher. It can be something we have left the students to imagine. We can give a prompt and ask them to complete that particular paragraph. So basically, if we think of comic making, we think of something that is very creative, very imaginative, and very appealing to the students. We can make group of students so that they can learn in groups. We have each panel, and then we have to balance the text and the image. So these will be the things that we have to keep in mind while we are designing a comic strip. This is the main frame that is to be there when we are designing a comic. Need not Pixton, any other comic making tool we can use, but we have to keep these things in mind. What happens was, as we can see, Bloom's taxonomy says that remembering what we have taught, and then they have to understand, apply, we analyze, evaluate, and it's after all these processes are completed only then can a student create something. And once he's able to create something, all these things are already achieved. So for one particular thing, we need to not keep on evaluating again and again. We have a different method or different thing tool to evaluate them. So what we have taught them, we want to check how they understand it, how they apply it in their life. All that can be used using the create, as you can see in the Bloom's taxonomy. So what we do is in Pixton, you can see in the next slide that there is some reluctant writers are there, and moreover this one is a very cool tool that it engages the students. They can work in groups, they can work as individuals, and it is basically important, as I said, to revise something again and again. We did not give them same exercises of true false question answer, all those traditional. We can give something in this form also so that they can revise it. If we go to the tool, it is something like this, as you can see on your screens in the next slide. You have different language. When we talk of comic, we have language. It is not just language that this tool can be used. It can be used in social emotional learning as well, in teaching different languages, in giving them some assignment of social studies. As in the next slide, you can see, we can use in different other subjects like history, civics, STEM, incorporating all those. Then we have children with special needs. Now, Pixton has upgraded it itself for children with special need. We can also use for mathematics, then we can use in the teaching of science also. As you can see in the next slide, if we take the topic history, we have these many different comics already there in the Pixton that are based on history. So 1850s America, be it 1984, this can be a fiction, this can be the fact, but the thing is that that particular era that we want the students to learn, it is clear with them. It will stay in their minds. And if we take move on to the next slide, we'll see that if we move on to the next slide, we'll see different subject like mathematics. Now here you can see they have given a question. 3 of these eggs are broken. That is 1/4 of the total. So that is a question, and the student need not think like we are not asking him a question. We have just given him a prompt. I would like 1/4 pound of this particular thing or something like that. So all these, they are teaching fractions, though they are teaching fraction of different particular things, but they are not asking them in the same format that the student thinks they are being examined. Next slide we can see is based on science. Here we have a leaf. I should have put on sunscreen. So that is a leaf. What is a breath of fresh air is what I need. Again, the leaf is saying. So all these can, though we are trying to transit the science fact, but it is also important that as you can see, it's very colorful. Student can keep on thinking. They can draw themselves. They can express themselves in various other ways. As you can see in the next slide, if we go on to the Pixton, it is something like that on the screen. If we go to any browser like Chrome and we write Pixton, this is the interface that we land on. So here you can see this is Pixton. We have an educator sign up and student sign up. Login is also there. You have to log in so that you can do various things in this particular tool. So as soon as we write Pixton on the Chrome, we log in to this particular page. On the next, what we appear is the educator. Like we generally are educators and we sign in using our Clever, Google or Microsoft ID. This is just to keep our privacy, safety, and security practices that we have to log in through these particular. You can see the ID is also given at the top where you can log into the Pixton tool.
Indeed, ma'am.
On the next screen,
Yes, ma'am. You very beautifully highlighted that in comic creation of comic strip, we can not only use Pixton very wisely, but also there is this usage through which we can communicate very easily. Like an example of science chapter where there was a story of a leaf. So I want to know here from you, ma'am, that how students can participate in using Pixton in creating comic strips.
all right, sir. Sir, as an educator, when we log into our ID, we give access to our students to do various things on this particular platform. So we keep a check on the students and we give them all the freedom that is needed for all those creative experiences that they need. We give them those experiences as well as we have a check also on them. As on the next slide, you can see we usually go in through our Google account. Here you can see the educator name is written there, and here we have various creations that are done by this particular creator. Then we have the groups, then we have the activities that this particular group does, and the resources that are available on the Pixton for various educators across the world who come and share what they do. Here you can also see a setup checklist where we can explore the comic maker, create a classroom. This is very important that we create a classroom like a teacher goes to various different classes. We cater student needs and demands of students of different age groups. So we have to create a classroom and then we add the students. And it is here that we assign the activity. So we give them personalized learning experiences. We know a particular student what he or she can do, and it is from there that we can start. We can assign such activity to that particular student who is a slow learner or who does not express more in words. So we can do all this. And moreover, we have an avatar also here, as you can see. And this avatar shows who that particular student is, what he wants to reflect about himself, how he wants to project himself. So all that thing that are there in the digital world is there, but still there is a check where the educator keeps a check on what the student is doing. He has all the control of whatever the child is doing. It is only after he has the passwords, the login credentials, only then he can go into the ID.
Yes, ma'am.
So here we can see a Pixton. That was the first page. Then we logged in into the educator account. And from the educator account, we have this My Creation section. This is the section where we can create various things that we want to share with our students. Then we have the groups. Then we have the activities that we assign them and the resources. As in the next slide, you can see, first we have to create a comic. They'll ask, which grade are you going to create and which subject you are going to create, because in Pixton itself there are many comics for a particular grade. If we want our comic to be for a particular grade, for a particular subject, we have to assign here the grade that we are trying to develop this comic for and the subject that we are going to answer. As you can see on the next slide, after we have decided on this, we have to enter the topic, what we want our students to do. It is here that we write what is this comic about, what we want are going to project, all that is here that we want our students to see. So enter the topic here, and next we have, on the next screen, we have the creations are ready. Here we have number of choices that we can make. Like this particular is for the PPT only. So as you can see on the left hand side top corner, it's written PPT. So here you can see different things that we can do. We can select a background as we have in a comic. We have all that in the digital form here. We have a background, then we have a scene. The scene can be abstract. Then we have characters. We can put 6 characters in a frame. Then we have the various objects that that are there on the screen. Then we have the focus that we can decide whom we want to focus, what we want to focus on that particular frame. And then we have words. So this particular screen that you are seeing, we have selected a background, and in this background we can have number of you can see one there is tick, that is the one that I have selected, but there are as number of backgrounds as well, that depending on your comic you can select whatever comic you are trying to make, or you want to convey to them that particular background you can select. At the bottom here you can see we have dark and light. Here what we'll do is we'll select that it is day or night. Each and every frame you have that choice of selecting whether it's day or night. And then on the right hand side corner, you are seeing 1, 2, 3 like that. So these are all the frames that will be there on that particular comic strip. So we can keep on adding the frames, we can keep on adding the characters, and there are a number of things that we can do with this character that we have selected. This can be the avatar that you have selected. This can be somebody else. But you have number of choices for these particular things. As you can see on the next slide, here we are trying to select the character. Now this character in this particular, in this comic, you have a character, then you go to add person. You can go to add person and add different characters with this particular character that is already there on the screen. If you want, you can add up to 6 characters on a particular frame. Then we have add creature. We can add one creature at a time, and when we'll go on the hands-on session, there you can see these creatures also that they have already there for the comic making tool. As in the next slide you can see, we have the objects. The objects can be handheld props. This is new addition to Pixton. They have made a new addition. Something that this character, you want the character to hold. Like here she's holding a book or a notebook. So that is a handheld prop, or any other prop that you want, you can add. Like the jacket she is wearing, there is a feather you can see. And this feather was not there in the original character. That is a prop that I had selected and diminished it to the size of a something that can be put on a coat. So there are a number of props and number of things that you can work on, and you can vary their sizes. You can vary the place you want them to be there on the comic. So just the traditional comic making, where you find it very difficult to erase. Once you have colored, you cannot make changes and all. Here everything, since it's in the digital platform, everything is quite easy. You can change it at the spur of the moment and as and when you want. So these are the benefits of basic comics making strips. So we have discussed about the background. That is the first thing that we'll be selecting while making a comic strip. Then we have the character. We can select as many as 6 characters, or the objects that the characters are holding or we want on the screen. And then on the next slide, you can see the focus. Here the focus is of the character. We can change the face of the character. We can change how the character is standing. Is it very close or very far, or it is just shadow? All those things of the character we can keep on changing. Then we have the words. And the words, like all other comics, the words can be typed here in any language, any format we want. And as we were telling, they are now voice to text or text to voice format also. So once you type it, the character will speak, or you'll give word or sound to it also using the various features that are there on the mobile. Then as you can see at the bottom, there is a circular toggle. When you move this toggle, you can increase or diminish the size of the prop that you have added, size of something that you have added. So here particular, what we are seeing on the screen is the expression of this particular character. So as you can see on the left hand side corner, number of expressions for this only character you can select. One particular character and the number of expressions you can select depending on what you want to convey. And then we have the body poses. Last, we have the body poses. And in this particular, you can see the one that is having the green tick, same pose the character is having on the screen. So you have different poses, and here you can see on the cursor, number of poses are there that you can select also. So these are the various things that we can do with a particular comic making strip. All these strips that you make are on the right hand corner. All the changes that you want to make are on the left hand corner. From the left hand corner, you'll select the background, the character, the object, the focus, words, expressions, and the body poses. So what we get on the right is the output of what we select in the left hand side of. So it's very simple. Just like we do with pencil and pen, we just have to select the characters and all that, and it's done. As you can see on the next screen, that you can see, you have the character speaking something. Now, I wanted the character to think of, like usually in comic, either is speaking loud or very dim voice, or is just thinking. All that are expressed in the comics. So here, when will the schools reopen? That is the character thinking. So for this, you have just to select the character and just you have to type. It will appear on the top of the character, what you want the character to speak or think. That particular will appear with the character, what he or she is speaking on that particular strip. As on the next screen, you can see, here we have a speech. Mom, tomorrow my online classes are at 10. So see, here I have used the dark effect. It is the same background has changed, and the timing of the particular setting I have changed. I have made it dark. So Mom, tomorrow my online classes are at 10 a.m. This is what I want the character to speak. So I have typed on the left hand side, and it's appearing on the right hand side with the character who is speaking it. To whom she is speaking, it is on the first slide. Now she is speaking to somebody, that is on the second slide. So all that are there. Now the next slide you can see, you have, as I told, we can put number of characters. Here we have selected 2 characters on the screen, and we can also select the dresses of the character. What we want our characters to wear, we have an outfit range to select from. The words, the focus, all can be done by us. So here you can see we have 2 characters on the screen, and that is the third slide of this particular comic that we are doing. On the next slide, you can see the outdoor thing that we wanted to change. So this is a maths question that is asked here. Rita, pay rupees 347 to Mohan from 500 note. How much will we get back? So this is a question, and it is asked in comic form. So what will happen to students, or we can ask the students only to frame questions like this, and they'll find it very attractive, and they won't feel a very burden of the study. So the questions they'll come up with will be they'll be very enthusiastic about it, and they'll keep on asking a number of questions. It won't be the other way that you have given 2 questions on that particular topic or 3. They'll themselves, when they are given the chance to ask questions, it will be many questions will be there. On the next screen, you can see we have changed the focus. It is the same 2 characters, and the focus that we had changed, the setting we had, background we had changed. So those effects are there. So if we talk of Pixton, we have different things that we can do. On the next screen, we can see this is how the comic will appear. So if the comic is ready, you want to publish it, you can download it, print it, or share it. These are the various features of the comic making tool that we can use while we are teaching. On the next slide, we have, this one was having 2. You have see at the bottom there is a link given. If you share the link, the student have the access to this particular comic, and we can give them to complete it. We can give blanks there and ask them to write the answers. And all this can be done so easily that the students will enjoy making comic tools for their teaching learning without knowing that it is for making them revise something or doing something new. As on the next screen, we can see we have shared it on our Facebook account. We want to show our creation to somebody else, then we can share it on the Facebook account or Twitter account from where, or we can simply mail it, just copy the link and mail it. It is from here that our students come to this platform and do. Whatever they do is already saved in the Pixton, and because without their login ID, they won't be able to access this particular thing. So if they want to access, they have to come to the platform through their ID, and if their ID is there, you'll be able to see what they are doing. As on the next slide, you can see these are two, three, many comics that we are making on one particular login. So if there are many logins, many comics are there, all will be there. You can edit it, as you can see, at any point of time, and you can share it with the people you want, be it student, be it teacher educators. You can share it with them, or you can edit it at any point of time that you want to. As you can see on the next screen, this is the new platform that we are working on. We are going to work up today. So here we can have my creations, my group, my activities, and the various Pixton resources that are there. So here we are going to see the PPT the comic that we were seeing. This comic that we had made right now, this is only there. So one particular comic is there, and you can see it and share it. As you can see on the next slide, we have the group. It is to be very clear which group is the target, because the same content that we want to give to our students will change depending on the group of students that we want to answer. If you want to give to grade 1 students, then it will be easy, but the same content goes to class, say, 8 student, the content will be a bit difficult. Different other aspects of that particular subject will need to be examined, and so the things will change. So we always need to define the grade and the subject that we are trying to make this comic on. As we can see on the next slide, we are going to make a group of students of class 5th. So I have selected here 5th, and we go to continue. On the next slide, you can see a group of class 5 is created. So we have class 5 group, and when we click on the next button, we have a class 5. That is the dashboard of a particular classroom. Here, the way that we are having one classroom, we can have many classrooms. Same way as the teacher goes to different classes, take different subjects in different classes, he or she can create. And it is the class code of this particular group that is given to the students, and the students join there, they do their work, and it's very simple. So we don't, next lot of things is already there, and moreover they can create and they can go on adding. That facility is also there, and moreover it's very easy to edit at a particular point of time the student wants. So this is class 5, as you can see on the screen. This is a group of class 5 students that I have made just now. Now the next one, we have to get ready for the students by adding their names. So there are two ways. We add them by, or as you can see on the next slide, we can add them, or we can simply write the name and continue. So we'll add this particular student. He or she is on Pixton, then we can add. So there are a number of teachers in the school. Somebody might be having that particular student, and if we want to add that particular student, we can add the student name to that particular class and add it. As we can see on the next slide, These are the resources that are already available on Pixton. We have intro to comics, we have lesson ideas. Like if somebody is new, feels reluctant, then what will I do and how will I do? So he can explore by grade, by subject, and by the object that he wants that particular thing, he can search here. Then we have story starters here. We can start a particular story and leave it. Then we have discussion groups, we have printables. Whatever we have done, we can just print it and give to the students. We can make some assignment sort of thing and give it to them. Then we have the various contents. We have rubrics. Once we have made a comic, we can express ourselves. We can evaluate ourselves how our comic was everything that we had thought earlier to incorporate in that particular comic, were we able to incorporate everything there? And then we want to see if the assessment is done. We can see the assessment is formative or summative assessment. All sort of things also can be done on this with the help of this Pixton tool. And if we have any problem with any of these things, we have the help center and the support whenever this comic creator wants their help or support. So these are the basic benefits of using Pixton. As you can see on the next slide, we were talking of avatar. So once you enter, you have to express yourself. As many students, sometimes they don't want to express who they are, so they can take anything. So what happens? It's not that that particular student is being round off for that he has not learned, he has not expressed himself. He can express himself the way he wants. As on the next slide, you can see, you can select about yourself, the avatar that we want the world to know or that particular digital class to know us, that we can select from here. As on the next slide, you can see we have to select the avatar's skin tone, the hair, whatever you want the avatar to wear, like that is me in that particular platform. How I want myself to look in that particular platform. Many students, they want to be themselves, many don't want to be themselves. So all that benefits are also there. But the teacher in the end knows who that particular student is. Now on the next screen, we can see this is the class photo. Till that time, one student is there, this will be the photo. And next step, on the next slide, you can see if many students, you can download it for this photograph of yours, circulate amongst your friends that this is me, this is how I look. So it is the avatar of that particular student who has made. It's not compulsory, but students want to. They are imaginative in those things also. So on the next screen, you can see there are a number of students. They have made their photos and the class teacher is also there. So this is basically the group photo. You have the teacher, the students, just like the class that we have in the school. We have this particular class outside the boundaries of the school. So this is a very useful tool for teaching learning process, and moreover, it's very engaging and entertaining. On the next slide, we can see this is how the class codes generate, and this link is not to be lost. This link is to be shared with students, and from here they can join you and they can keep on seeing what new assignment you have given them, how much time you have given them, what you want to do them to do next, what thinking you want to inculcate in them. All that can be shared with the students. So this link is permanent. It's not going to change every time until and unless the teacher, the educator wants. So the link will be static. If you want to change again and again, well and good. Otherwise, the link is static. You just have to share with the students, and then you can keep on seeing what they are doing and print the link and give to them so that they can join you at any point of time. On the next screen, you can see now we have a session on hands-on so that we can explore this tool that we were discussing right now. So we'll see how this particular tool is and how it works. on the hands-on session, we'll see what this particular tool has, the features that we were discussing right now, and how it's going to work. So for the screen share, taking you to the hands-on session, we can have the various.
Yes, ma'am. So here I have a very brief question to you, ma'am. That as you were telling us about that how students and educators also can create comic strip by using Pixton. So I want to understand from you, ma'am, that how important and how significant a tool Pixton is, especially for teachers and educators.
It's very helpful for teachers and educators. Like,
Yes, ma'am. So, dear viewers, you saw Miss Pratima Singh how she taught us about how we can use Brixton to create comic strips. So, you
and
can
they create.
understand this. Yes, ma'am.
So they can just do this. The work that they are doing is not on based on your instructions. They are just guided by their instincts. They'll take interest, and moreover, educators will be benefited by not going to that extent that students are not listening. They're not doing the homework, that sort of thing. So what we'll do is we'll just give them a platform. We'll give them the freedom to create things that they are doing, and with that it will be okay with both of them. The student will be comfortable and the teacher will be comfortable in giving that particular knowledge that he wants to be imparted in his students.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, one more question I have from you is that when we especially talk about students and how they can learn a lot through interactive learning and by using these effective communication tools, especially how you told us that through creation of comic strips they can not only learn the same subject in a more interactive and lively manner. So how significant you think that this Brixton tool can be for students?
Yes, it's very significant that they are learning quite easily. That is very important. We are not forcing them. We are not taking them to any other place. As we can see here, this is the platform that we were talking of. So this is the first comic that I'll create with you.
Yes, ma'am.
My screen is visible to all of you. We have this particular platform. Once we have logged in, this is a hands-on session. We can see whatever I was talking is there on the screen and how easy. So to create my first comic, first I'll click, then I'll write the topic. That is a session that I am taking. So I'm taking the session. So this particular comic that we are going to make will be on session. So as you can see, the interface is right there in front of you. You have, as I was talking, this particular, you have the comic heading on the left-hand side, top corner. And then you have the background. From the background, as they have by default, the plain one is selected. You can select any background, like I want to select this one. So you can see right hand. As soon as I select the right hand, it gets changed. This is what I was talking about. You have not, you need not draw somebody who's not good at drawing like me. So you can just select. You need not depend on somebody. It is there for you. As I was talking, at the bottom you have the daytime. The same will turn to night as soon as I click.
Indeed,
Okay.
ma'am.
So I have just changed. It is day, it is night, and then we have the scene. It can be outdoor, it can be inside, it can be rural. So number of things are there. The
Indeed, ma'am,
outfit.
and through this method, I believe that it would be very interesting for our students to learn how to create comic strips using Brixton. And I would like to extend my thanks to you that you joined us today in our online training program. Thank you so much, Ms. Pratima Singh ma'am.
Thanks a lot, sir. Just want teachers and educators to use this particular tool for teaching, learning, making it more and more effective. Thank you.
Indeed, ma'am. So, before we wind up the program, I would like to tell all our viewers that if you want to participate in our online training program, you can visit our website, that is ciet.ncert.gov.in, and once you will open it, you can visit the activities section, and which if you scroll down, you can go to workshop and training, and in that you can see that under the ongoing current activity section, there is this online training on animation as digital resource for teaching and learning. We were on the day 4th of the program, which is on 19 September, creating comic strip using Pixton, and tomorrow you will learn creating animations using Bitable. If you will scroll down to this part, you can see that there is the program schedule. Today we are studying and learning on the creating comic strips using Pixton, and Pratima Singh was with us, and tomorrow on the concluding day of our online training program, you will learn creating animations using Bitable, and hopefully Ms. Sona OK, our expert, will join us in the program. Now the most important question, which is how anyone who is interested in the training can join us and participate in the program. You can simply log into this link, or you can also scan the QR code. If you want to learn more, and by any chance if you missed our previous programs, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is NCERT official, and in that you can log into our playlist and see the particular episodes. You can also watch it on PME Vidya channels and GeoTV mobile app. Next, we have how you can get certified. Certification of any particular course is very important. So, you can join and get certification of this on Diksha portal. The course link will be updated on the event page on the last day of the training by 7 p.m. which is tomorrow. This course will be open for everyone, all of you, till 30th of March 2025, which is next year. Participants can need to join the course, go through all the 5 videos to take up the final assessment, which is very important, and you have to score somewhere around 70% and above in the final assessment to get the certificate. And you can also get your certificate from Diksha profile page itself. It may take up to around 50 to 20 days, so you can get it around that. So, all our viewers, if you have any feedback for us, you can give our feedback to the following link, or you can also scan the QR code. And apart from that, if you have any queries and any questions regarding that, you can email us at training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in, or you can also call us at our mobile number, which is 8800440559. That's all for today. Don't forget to follow us on our NCERT official YouTube channel. Apart from that, please stay tuned for our next live session, which is Sahyog. Allow me to wind up the program. Thank you so much.